Hello students, I am explaining chapter 2 is matter around us pure for class 9 science, and in this video I am going to explain the answers for the questions which are present in NCERT exercise. So you maybe have seen at the end of the chapter there are some questions in the form of exercise which is present on page number 22, and those are all the questions I am going to solve in this video. So the questions which are present in between the chapter, those all questions I have completed and uploaded all the videos on my channel. You can go through my channel, and if you're not yet subscribed my channel, please consider subscribing my channel. So let's start with the first question from the exercise, page number 22. Question number 1. Which separation techniques will you apply for the separation of the following? So here they have given some of the mixtures of some of the substances, and we have to specify the techniques which we can use to separate these all the mixtures. So see here, these are all the questions which are given, and here I have written all the separation techniques. So this is nothing but the answer. So I can write it here, answer. Let me write it clearly. So here I'll write answer. Answer means we have to specify the techniques, separation techniques, and here these all are the questions. So the first one is sodium chloride from its solution in water. So what is done here? Here they have taken water, and in this water they have added sodium chloride. So it is nothing but a salt solution. So how or which technique we can use to separate this sodium chloride from this water, that we have to tell. And the answer for this is here, evaporation. So we can use this evaporation technique and separate sodium chloride and water, or also called as crystallization if you want pure crystal. So crystallization is also the technique which is nothing but evaporation only. But if you want a highly pure crystals, then you can use this crystallization method. So remember, the separation technique is evaporation. What is evaporation technique? Already I have explained in my earlier video. You can go to the channel and observe that video. Second one is ammonium chloride from a mixture containing sodium chloride and ammonium chloride. So here there is a mixture of two salts, that is sodium chloride is NaCl and ammonium chloride is NH4Cl. Both are salts, chloride salts. Both are white color crystals and which is mixed. Remember, both are in the form of crystals, solids, which is mixed. And from this mixture we have to separate only ammonium chloride. So what is the technique used for this? And the technique used is this one, that is called sublimation. Sublimation means here we are converting solid directly into gas or gas directly into solid. That is called sublimation. So here when we do sublimation, ammonium chloride, that is NH4Cl, sublimes on heating. So ammonium chloride will undergo sublimation and convert into gas, and then after cooling it forms crystal, and NaCl will remain as it is into the flask. So this is called as sublimation. Now the next one is small pieces of metal in the engine oil of a car. So in an engine oil, if there is a mixture of small pieces of metal, how we can separate it? And the common method is filtration, because oil is a liquid. So this is oil, imagine, and the metal pieces are, maybe these are the blue color metal pieces. So what we can do it, we can use a filtration technique where you can use a funnel and a beaker at the bottom and the filter paper. So when you pour this solution in this funnel, these blue color metal pieces will remain on the funnel, on the filter paper here, and the engine oil which you can see liquid state, that all will come down into the beaker. So you can use filtration technique. So here you can see using an oil filter. Oil filter means the filter paper which you are using, you should see that it should be an oil filter. It should allow oil to filter down. Then the next one is different pigments from an extract of flower petals. So flower petals, petals means what? The green color things which I can see in the flower. You maybe have seen a hibiscus flower. If you draw, it will be like this, a round section, and then here it will be a pistil. This is the ovary, this is style, and here it is a stigma, and then here there will be petals like this. So these are the petals. And here you can see some green color leaves at the bottom, and these green color leaves are called as petals. So these green color leaves you can see in all cases, in all the flowers you can see this green color leaves. There are some of the exception, sometimes these petals will be of another color, but especially these will be of green color. So we are going to extract some pigments from these petals. So when we extract the pigment, that pigment will be mixed of, like that substance extract will be mixed of different pigments. So imagine when we extract from this petals, this extract consists of pigments like A, B, C, and D. Imagine these are the four pigments present in this extract. Then how you can separate these four pigments? And the technique used for this is chromatography. Chroma means color, and these all the pigments are going to separate in the form of some lines. That is nothing but it is called graph. So chromatography, specifically paper chromatography. So in this chromatography also there are many different types: thin layer chromatography, column chromatography, paper chromatography. So here we are going to use paper chromatography. In detail of this chromatography you will study in your higher classes. Then the next one is butter from curd. So here we are going to use centrifugation, that is churning. Centrifugation nothing but we are going to take that mixture into one instrument or into one apparatus, and we are going to move it or rotate it with a higher speed. You maybe have seen in your home, when you separate butter from a curd, what you will be doing? You will take that whole curd into one container and put water and take one apparatus like this, and you will hold it here and you'll rotate it with a high speed. When you rotate it with a high speed, the butter which is present, that all will gather together and come on the top, and down you can see all the buttermilk. So it is nothing but one type of the centrifugation only, but here the centrifugation meaning is we are going to use one instrument and we are going to rotate this butter and curd mixture with a high speed, so that butter will separate and curd will also separate. Then the next is oil from water. So as you all know, when you put oil in a water, oil will float on the surface, water will be at the bottom. So to separate this, we are going to use a separating funnel, since they are immiscible liquids. So if the liquids are immiscible, immiscible means the liquids which will not mix. Here oil will remain floating on the top, water will be at the bottom. So that's why this is called immiscible. So such type of liquids which are immiscible, which are not mixing, for them we are using these separating funnels. So in detail, again I am telling, we will study in the higher classes, because if I explain this now, what is separation technique by using separating funnel, you will not able to understand. Then the next one is tea leaves from tea. Here also we are going to use filtration. Tea leaves from tea. So we can use a filtration method using a strainer. Then iron pins from sand. Very simple. Iron pins, iron is a metal, from sand. So we can use a magnetic separation, because when we bring magnet near iron, iron will get attracted towards the magnet. It gets stuck towards the magnet and we can remove it, we can separate it, because iron sand will not get attracted towards the magnet. Then the next one is wheat grains from husk. Wheat grain from husk. A simple technique we can use it here, winnowing. Many of the crops for separation of those grains from the husk, this winnowing technique is used, where the lightweight particles will fall on the one side and the grain which are high weight particles fall on the other side. Then the next one is fine mud particles suspended in a water. Fine mud particles suspended in a water. So if the water is little bit of dirty, if it is having mud particles which are very fine, and due to that the whole water will looks muddy water. And here also we can use the technique called again centrifugation or sedimentation. Centrifugation means what? We are going to take that water into the instrument and we are going to rotate it. We are going to allow the liquid to move in a very high speed, and due to which the particles, which are high weight particle, will get settled at the bottom, and the clear water, clear solution will come at the top. That is nothing but called centrifugation, or it is also called as sedimentation. So these are some of the techniques which are used to separate these all the mixtures. From these all the techniques, you can see here some of the techniques you already studied, like evaporation we know, sublimation we know, filtration we know. Even here we know what is again filtration, magnetic separation. We know also we can understand, because we already studied in our earlier classes, 8th standard. Then here, but leaving this, there are techniques like centrifugation, then here also centrifugation, chromatography. Yes, these are the techniques which are new to you all, but we will study these all the techniques in our higher standard, in our 11th, 12th, even in some of the techniques are there in 10th also, we will understand it. But remaining all the techniques are very simple. We already know those all the techniques, and I have already explained these all the techniques in the explanation of this chapter. So you can go through those all the videos, understand whole chapter, and then you come to this video where I am solving the question. If you know the basic concept, basic explanation of this whole chapter, then we can easily solve any question. So my suggestion is to watch my earlier videos and then you can solve, or then you can watch this video. So after this, we're going to move with the next question. Question number 2, write the steps you would use for making tea. Use the words solution, solvent, solute, dissolve, soluble, insoluble, filtrate, and residue. So the question is very simple. We have to write all the steps which we use to prepare tea in our home. But while writing these steps, we have to use these all the words which is mentioned in this question. But for using these all the words, first we should know what is solution, what is solvent, what is solute in the tea making process. So see the answer, you will understand. First, take water in a pan. So here, water we are going to take in more quantity. If you remember, if you know how to prepare tea, if you don't know, you can ask your mother. If you know how to prepare tea, then try to remember water will be in more amount, sugar, tea powder, and the other ingredients will be in less amount. Whichever is present in more amount, that is called solvent. Already I have explained these all the words. And whichever is present in less amount, that is called as solute. So here for making tea, we are using water is in more amount. That's why first take water in a pan. Water acts as a solvent. So we have used here word. So water is solvent. When you add sugar to it, sugar is dissolute because sugar we will not add as much as we have added water. Sugar will be less. That's why it comes under solute. So what we did, we took water as a solvent, added sugar as a solute. Since sugar is soluble in water, it dissolves and forms a solution. So since what is sugar? Sugar is a crystals which will get dissolved, soluble in water. So they will dissolve and forms a sugar solution. Now, next, add tea leaves to water. So now we are going to add tea leaves or tea powder. So this also we will add in a small amount. That's why this also comes under solute. So see here, tea leaves are insoluble. So I'm not saying now it is a solute because already solute word is used. So now I will say tea leaves are insoluble. They do not dissolve in the solution but remain suspended. Next, then boil the mixture and add milk if required, forming a complete tea solution except tea leaves. So milk, sugar, water will get mixed. Only tea leaves will remain suspended. Finally, filter the tea using strainer. So we are going to filter it because you can see here we have to use the word filtrate and residue also. So filter the tea using strainer. The liquid tea that passes through it is the filtrate, and the tea leaves left behind in the strainer are the residue. So when you filter, imagine this is the strainer and here we are going to filter it. So what will happen? Here there will be small holes and this is the tea in which we have prepared. So when you filter this, strain this, all the liquid tea will come down into these vessels or cups. This is called as what? Filtrate. So this is your filtrate, and whatever tea powder, tea leaves remains on the strainer, these all called as residue. So these are the steps which are used to prepare tea. I hope you are understanding what I'm explaining. If you know how to prepare tea, you will understand very easily. But the thing is, you should know where to use these all the words. If you know the basic idea, what is solution, what is solvent, what is dissolve, what is soluble, what is insoluble, then you will understand this answer very easily. So I hope this answer will help you to prepare. Now I'll move to the next question. Now the question number 3 is Pragya tested the solubility of three different substances at different temperatures. So Pragya tested solubility of three different substances. So Pragya has taken three different substances and she has recorded the solubility of all three at different temperatures and collected the data as given below. So you can see here in the bracket it is given results are given in the following table as grams of substances dissolved in 100 grams of water to form a saturated solution. You have to read this. Now see, this is the table and she has took four substances: potassium nitrate, sodium chloride, potassium chloride and ammonium chloride, and here there are different temperature. So she has checked solubility at 283 Kelvin, 293 Kelvin, 313 Kelvin, 333 Kelvin and 353 Kelvin. So these are the substances here and these are the temperatures. When she was checking the solubility at 283, the solubility of potassium nitrate was 21, sodium chloride 36, potassium chloride 35, ammonium chloride was 24. So what is this 21, 36, 35 and 24? These are the results given in the table as grams of substances dissolved in 100 grams of water. So remember this. Now same like that for 293 Kelvin, these are the readings. For 313, these are the readings. For 333, these are the readings. And for last 353, these are the readings. So these are the data which is given. Now based on this table, based on this data, we have to answer the questions. Question number A, what mass of potassium nitrate would be needed to produce a saturated solution of potassium nitrate in 50 grams of water at 313 K? So we have to prepare a saturated solution of potassium nitrate in 50 grams of water. And what is the temperature? 313. Then what is the amount of potassium nitrate we require? Remember how much water we are going to take? We are going to take water 50 gram. Temperature is 313. Then how much potassium nitrate we have to add? That we have to find out. See the answer. At 313 Kelvin, solubility of potassium nitrate is 62 gram per 100 gram of water. So you can see here 313 is here and potassium nitrate is here. So this is the solubility for 313. So 62 gram per 100 gram of water, because here they are given in the bracket for 100 gram of water. So for 50 gram of water, what you have to do? Here we can calculate 62 divided by 100 into 50, that is nothing but 31. Means what? We can calculate like this. For 62 gram, this is for 100 gram of water, correct? For 62 gram of potassium nitrate, that is KNO3, it is for 100 gram of water. Then for 50 gram of water, how much will be the potassium nitrate? So here what we have to do? We have to cross this and we have to solve. So what it becomes? It will become 50 divided by 100 into 62, or we can say 60, or I'll write it here, or we can write 62 divided by 100 into 50. Both are same. So see here, 62 divided by 100 into 50. If we solve this, we will get answer 31 gram. Or how to solve it? This 0 cancel, this 0 cancel. What will remain? 62 into 5. So 62 into 5 we have to multiply first. 5 2s are 10, 0, 1 here. 5 6 are 30 and 1 will be 31. So this will become 310 divided by 10. Now 0 cancel, 0 cancel. What is remaining? 31. So therefore 31 gram. This is the answer. See here, 31 gram is the answer. So how much potassium nitrate we have to weigh? We have to weigh 31 gram of potassium nitrate in 50 gram of water to get a saturated solution. I hope you will understand this solution of this question A. Now I'll move the next question of this. Now the next question is B. Pragya makes a saturated solution of potassium chloride in water at 353 Kelvin and leaves the solution to cool at room temperature. What would she observe as the solution cools? Explain. So what is the question here? Pragya, she has prepared a saturated solution of potassium chloride at temperature 353 Kelvin. And after preparing the saturated solution at 353 Kelvin, if she cools the solution, what is the observation that we have to explain? So see here, at 353 Kelvin, a large amount of potassium chloride is dissolved. Its solubility is high. When the solution is allowed to cool to room temperature around 293 K, the solubility of potassium chloride decreases. So what is the saturated solution? How we will prepare? We will take a beaker and in this we will take water. Say starting we have got the readings at, we have taken at 100 gram of water and we started adding potassium chloride in this KCl. We added little bit, we mixed it, it got dissolved. Then again we added, we mixed it, it got dissolved. And this is, we have repeated. And at one level it will reach where this salt will not get dissolved. And this all happened at room temperature, that is 293 K. But what we did after reaching this saturated stage as 293 K, we increased the temperature, we heated it and we reached till 353 K and we saw that again it is able to get dissolve more amount of KCl. So as we increase the temperature, the solubility of this solution increases. I hope you are understanding. At room temperature, when we reach the solubility level, saturated level, we started heating it, we increased the temperature and therefore it started dissolving more salts again, means the solubility got increased. And now after reaching the saturated level at 353 Kelvin, now we are going to cool it and we are going to bring back to 293 K, that is room temperature. And when we decrease the temperature, solubility will also decrease. There is a relation between the temperature and the solubility. As the solubility, as the temperature, I'll write it here, as the temperature increases, solubility also increases. And as the temperature decreases, solubility also decreases. So starting we increase the temperature by heating, it started dissolving more salts, means solubility increases. As we bring back to the room temperature, when we cool it, solubility also decreases. So what we can see? We can see the formation of crystals into the solution. So see your observation, crystals of potassium chloride will start appearing out of the solution. So when we decrease the temperature to room temperature, in the same solution, we can see the formation of crystals of potassium chloride. Because the temperature decreases, solubility decreases, and therefore whatever salt has been dissolved all got crystals, all started forming crystals in the solution. What is the reason? What is the explanation? As the temperature decreases, the solubility of potassium chloride reduces from 54 gram at 353 to 35 gram at 293. You maybe have seen the table. They have given the solubility at different temperature. When we reach 353, the solubility was 54. But when we decrease the temperature to 293, solubility also decreases to 35 gram. So when it comes to 35 gram, the remaining all the salts from 54 got crystallized. Only 35 gram of potassium chloride will get dissolved, and remaining all from this 54 all will form crystals in the solution. So see here, the excess dissolved salts can no longer remain in the solution. So it comes out in the form of solid crystals. I hope you are understanding this. At till 293 Kelvin, we can dissolve how much? 35 gram of potassium chloride. But when we increase the temperature to 353, it started dissolving till 54 gram. But when we again decrease the temperature, it comes to again 35 gram, and remaining all the extra from this 54 will get solidified and forms crystal. So this is the answer for question B. Now we'll move with question next. Now there is one more question, that is question C. Find the solubility of each salt at 293 Kelvin. Which salt has highest solubility at this temperature? So see here, from the table at 293 Kelvin, the solubilities in grams per 100 gram are: potassium nitrate, it was 32, sodium chloride 36, potassium chloride 35, ammonium chloride 37, and according to this whole table, the highest solubility at 293 Kelvin is ammonium chloride. So see here. So what is the meaning of this? When we took water 100 gram into the beaker, 4 beakers I'll take. So this is first beaker, this is second beaker, this is your third beaker, and here I will draw a fourth beaker. So what I will do, in first beaker I'll add a KNO3, in second beaker I'll add NaCl, here KCl, and here NH4Cl is nothing but ammonia. So here this whatever water we have taken in all the beaker, it is remember 100 gram. And now for potassium nitrate KNO3, we require 32 gram to get a saturated solution. For NaCl, we have to add 36 gram of salt to get a saturated solution. For potassium chloride, we require 35 gram. And for ammonium chloride, we require 37 gram. And remember, this is all at 293 Kelvin temperature. So if you see all the readings, 37 is the highest, and that is only asked in the question. So here, highest solubility at 293 Kelvin is ammonium chloride, 37 gram per 100 gram of water. So this is the answer for question C. Now we will move with question D. So question D is, what is the effect of change of temperature on the solubility of salt? So answer is very simple. Already I have explained in the earlier question. Effect of temperature on solubility of salt is, for most salt, solubility increases as the temperature increases. Example, potassium nitrate, potassium chloride, ammonium chloride. So as we increase the temperature, solubility also increases. Means as we heat the solution, more and more amount of salt we can dissolve. Some salt show very little or almost no change in solubility with the temperature, example sodium chloride. So there are some of the salts which will not show any change with the temperature, like sodium chloride. So you can see in the table, if we change the temperature, then also the solubility of sodium chloride will not change much. This is in case of some of the solvent, but most of the salts will show this effect. If we change the temperature, solubility also changes. That is, if we increase the temperature, solubility increases. If we decrease the temperature, solubility also decreases. So this is the question. This is the answer for question D. So till here we have completed the 3 questions from NCERT, that is from the NCERT book, page number 22. I hope these all the answers will help you to prepare for the exams. You write these all the answers in your notebook so that whenever there will be exam or the test, you can easily prepare from these all the notes. If you are getting little bit of help from these all the videos, then share my videos with your friends and please consider subscribing my channel. Thank you so much.